Hi, Danica here. In this video, I'm going to show you what I suggest you do every time you have a brand new WordPress site. These steps, you can also check if your existing WordPress site already have these things that I'm going to mention, just to make sure everything is smooth. In case there's some issue later on, you could troubleshoot it properly, whether yourself or the help of your team or someone else. So here's a brand new WordPress site that I just installed. So I set it up under my Run Cloud with Hetzner account. First thing is, of course, make sure you have saved your login credentials properly so that you don't lost it and find how to password resets and stuff. So I use OnePassword for storing all of my logins and your client's logins to make sure everything's secure. You can also easily share login credentials to anyone using OnePass because it generates a temporary link that you can share it to specific person, and also you can turn on features like have it only viewable one time, expired 7 days, and so on. Those things exist as a functionality in OnePassword. So again, highly suggest you check it out. But for this new WordPress site, highly suggest you make sure you have saved your login credentials already, which in my end, I have already done that. And as you can see, if I open my OnePassword Chrome extension, it's showing in here. So once you have already saved that, next is you want to make sure that the backup is working properly in your WordPress site. So in this Run Cloud account, each application has a backup section, and this I have set up earlier, turned on the backup, but it hasn't even started yet, even though it says active. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna check if there's any error. So far, no error. So I'm gonna run a manual backup, and we're gonna go back to this in a bit, see if it's working properly. Next, we're gonna go back to our application here. We're still under custom and the WP Fusion. And in here, I'm gonna check if the SSL was set up properly. So far, this is green, so meaning it's has been set up properly. If I check my website, double click the address bar, it's also working properly here. And if I click that, it says my connection is secure. So that's also good. Now there's some message here. So let's check. It says the backup was completed. So it's already completed. So at least I know that the backup is running properly, because I did have some experience in before that even though I set this to run auto backup, there was some issue on the back end. I'm not exactly sure what, but what I did was I needed to work with the support to fix it. And after that, everything went good. So it became a habit that whenever I set up a WordPress site, I want to test the backup first manually, just making sure it runs. And then if this fails anyway, it will send me an email. But again, I just want to make sure my backup here is working. And again, I'm gonna double check if under my settings this is set to automated backup. So every 12 hours, 1 week, it's gonna keep that. And then this is incremental backup, meaning it's only gonna back up things that has changed in your server for that web application. So password has been set or saved. SSL backup is running. Next is we're gonna go here and we want to go to plugins. And first thing that I'd like to do is I'm gonna delete these two plugins, so Akismet and Hello Dolly. But if you do need or is using or invested in Akismet, you can also keep that. But in my end, I just usually delete that because I use different spam protection whenever I need to. So I'm gonna keep Lightspeed because this is the one that I use with the Run Cloud. Now that we have deleted those two plugins, next is I'm gonna set up 2FA. So to set up 2FA, you want to install Wordfence. It's free, so I suggest you have this in all of your websites. So install Wordfence and then get a license. And then in here, get a free license and say okay. And then for this one, I'm just gonna enter my email. Oops, custommem.io. No, I have read, and then register. It should send something in my inbox. Let me just check. Okay, so it sent this email. So what I'm gonna do is I could either click this to install, but my end, I'm just gonna copy this because I'm in incognito. So I'm gonna go back to my plugins here, install an existing, type in my email that I have provided earlier, put the key, and then yes, and then install license. Free license install, go to the dashboard, and then it's gonna onboard you with steps. Just follow that. Next is scroll at the top and make sure this is enabled to make sure it's always up to date. And then says here that to make sure your site is secure, take a moment to optimize Wordfence web application firewall. So I'm gonna click here to configure, and it's actually gonna do the thing for you. But what you wanna do is download this file that it asks you, and then click continue, and then close. So that should be good. As you can see, it says learning mode at the moment. So I'm just gonna dismiss this. And then remember that the file that we've downloaded, you need to keep that secure in your file. So usually what I do is I put that in the task. So I use ClickUp for managing the website task. So you put that in there. Or you could also, if you're using OnePass and this is your website credentials, you can also keep that in here. So what's great about OnePass is it's not just allowing you to save login credentials. You can put more information here. So sometimes I like to attach light files in here. So example for this one, I know this belongs to this website, so why not put that in here? That kind of thing. So I also sometimes put the backup codes in here as a file, making sure I have that accessible whenever I need to. So that's just options that you can do, making sure you save that file that Wordfence has provided to you. Next is we're gonna go to our profile, and right now we can start setting up the 2FA. So if you scroll down, you can see there's an option. So Wordfence login security. Click activate, and then it's gonna give you some stuff. And then now I will scan this code. So since I'm using OnePass, all I need to do is open the Chrome extension, and then it will recognize the website login because I have that in the URL. And then there's 3 dots here for more options. Click that, scan QR code. And 90% of the time this will work. If it does fail, what I do is I grab my phone because I also install OnePass in my phone and scan this code manually, which does the trick. So yeah, just a note on that one. So I'm just gonna copy this code. I'm gonna download this and then activate. And then this one says Wordfence is now enabled and so on. Now I'm gonna generate a new code here and I'm gonna save it so that I have that properly and it's not captured in this video. Okay, so I just generated a new code, and again, what do we do is we want to save that code properly in OnePassword. So again, I'm gonna open it here. I'm gonna attach the file, and this is my backup code, and then I'm gonna open that. It says recovery code in here. You could name the file properly so that you can easily recognize that in the future. Save that in here. And now I have my 2FA working with my OnePassword. So next is you want to make sure all admin does that. In my end, it's only me as admin in this account. So I'm good to go. So what I'm gonna want to do right now is I'm gonna log out and I'm gonna try to sign in if it's working. So sign in, OnePass will automatically put the code for you, and boom, it's working. So those are some best practice that I do whenever I set up brand new WordPress site. I highly suggest you check if you have done those for your website as well, especially the 2FA. Setting up 2FA for all of your admins. Now, if you have an old, like, if you have a user before who was an admin, but that example, if you're working with a developer and admin and there's the project has been done, so you don't need that user to be an admin, but you're afraid to delete their account in case something goes wrong or attach. So you can see post. You can safely delete it for sure, but if you're not confident in doing that, what you can do is you can edit the user, and instead of saying admin, change that to subscriber instead. In my end, I could not do that because it's only this one user account. But in your end, if you edit other admins, you can downgrade their role to subscriber. And then again, make sure you have 2FA. And then once that is double check and working properly, check your backup if it's working properly. Because I've worked with several websites where it ended up there was no proper backup setup. And when they had an issue, it was very hard to get back to that version because there was something wrong with their backups. And same with 2FA. I've worked with different websites who got hacked or get broken because of this rules where they have left old admin users who was not supposed to be an admin anymore. And again, they get hacked or something. So highly suggest you check at least this two. So yeah, I hope this video helps. If you have any question, feel free to leave them below. And then you can also browse more videos like this in our YouTube channel or by joining our hub site, which has free courses. And if you need any help with your WordPress membership site, visit us at custommem.io. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.